Hello and happy Friday, everybody. We are back for the NBA DFS Slate Breakdown for Friday, October 24th. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann, and come join us at 9-star, $39.99 per month. Gets you access to all we do, the props, the DFS on the mobile apps, on the websites for all sports we cover. And if you have never tried us out before, we do have a free trial. Go to the app stores or the website to get access to that trial. And let's get after it today. Thank you guys for joining us. Just Brando, what is up? The King Raheem, what is going on, my guys? Happy to have you both here. Thank you guys for commenting and always liking. It helps our small company, grow a little bit, or improve our reach a little, if you will. Now let's dive into it on this nice slate. We have 11 games on FanDuel. Silly Mama, hello. Thank you for showing up. 11 games on FanDuel. We have 7 games on DraftKings. DraftKings is doing what I wish FanDuel would do and cut out the night games, especially on Fridays where, people want to go out and do things with their life. They don't want to have to sit by the computer and wait to see if there's an NBA late scratch that always happens, or some surprising injury news. So FanDuel, please get with the program. Also, personally, I just like the 7 or 6 to 8 game slate sizes a lot better than these 11, 12 that can get totally nuts. Now let's dive into it. Enough of my rants. We got James Harden as the highest owned point guard on the slate. He's at 8,200. Obvious upside in this matchup versus Phoenix. 3.5-star alert score. Phoenix has been a easy matchup for the point guard position here for a little while. 223.5 total. The Clippers are 9.5 favorites. I have a hard time totally believing that with how bad and anemic they were last time out. But I do think Harden profile is pretty good. They got totally blown out versus the Jazz, and they need to bounce back here. And it is in a decent matchup here versus the Suns. I think for the upside, Harden is an interesting spot, and I'm going to have plenty of him. 8,200 is just cheap. He can easily get into the 40s, and he has the ceiling, to get into the 60s. And I'm fine eating some chalk there. Next, we got Colin Gillespie, 3,900. He only played 22 minutes in this last game versus Sacramento. That does scare me a little bit because it just limits his upside. It's not like he is, huge in the point per minute category. I mean, 1.09 as a point guard is solid when he's coming off the bench over the last 20, but he is in a tougher matchup versus these Clippers, so I don't mind it. I'm going to get the sum, but I am a little cautious with this just because he could easily go to 20 minutes, and at almost 4K, it's just not quite paying off the salary. Next, we got Donovan Mitchell, 9K, in an absolutely great spot versus the Nets, who aren't very good, and there's no Darius Garland or Max Strus, so his usage should be through the roof like it was last game. The only issue I see here is that his potential blowout situation. He very easily could be in that 30 to 32 minute range versus 36. So I don't mind playing some Mitchell, but I kind of want a Nets guy to come with him if I'm playing much Mitchell, because the way he gets there is the Nets stay into this game late. So I don't mind some Mitchell. I'm going to play some of him, by himself, but the majority of my Mitchell lineups are going to be with some sort of net coming along with him, especially if I'm going with 2 Cavs, then I absolutely must have a net coming with him. I don't mind some Peyton Pritchard again. Amin Thompson, I love the player. He's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. There's big upside. He can put a ton of ancillary stats up. Definitely don't mind going that way either. Now let's get into my pivots. Luka, 11.9K. It's the Luka show without LeBron. He is going to have huge usage. He put up 77 last game. LA loves a star, and they're going to just lean on Luka right now. Without LeBron, he's at like 1.7 minutes fantasy points per game on the Lakers, and hard to not want to go there. It's not the best matchup in the world, but at least it should be a close game late. And I think, the sky is the limit for Luka. I'm going to have a decent amount of him, and I think he's going too low owned at 9%. Next, we got Drew Holiday, 5,600. Look, everybody is thinking that is the Drew of last year, I believe. The guy that was like 0.8 fantasy points per minute for the Celtics the last couple years, where he just couldn't really get it going for the Celtics. He is in a totally different situation with Portland. He is one of the main guys. He is going to have high usage. He's going to be shooting the ball. He took 15 shot attempts, only shot 33% too, still got there putting up 37 as far as his fantasy point per score. I think this spot is an okay one versus the Warriors. Warriors are on a back-to-back where they played overtime last night. There is a decent chance there is no Curry or Butler. I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of these stars are sitting, and we probably don't get that news for another hour or two. But I think Drew is going way overlooked, and he's definitely one of the spots that I like a decent amount on this slate. Now, let's get over to DraftKings, see what we got here for our high owned. We got Stephon Cassell, 6,800, 22% owned. I like the spot. Don't mind having plenty of him. Cooper Flagg, 7,100 is a bit pricey, but it is a great spot versus the Wizards. Mavericks are big time favorites, but they need to get this kid rolling. I don't think they want to go 2 games with, maybe a little less confidence for Flagg. I would not be surprised if they draw some easy stuff up for him. And being the point guard, his usage is going to be absolutely fine. He still kind of got there, put up 25 fantasy points last game, which obviously at 7,100, that kills your lineups. But he shot terribly, 4 for 13. He had no assists as a point guard, still got 10 rebounds. I think you could do worse than going to Flagg. I do have to say a 7,100 price tag is a bit high at high ownership. I wouldn't mind coming in a little bit lower. Tyus Jones, 3,500 versus the Hawks. It's a great spot. Suggs likely still a little limited, so minutes could be there. I just don't think there's huge upside in this spot. I think Bane kind of takes all of that usage from him. Javon Small, 3,300. He got 19 minutes. You're only really playing him because he's super cheap. I think there's plenty other places to go to get different now. Let's go check out shooting guard on FanDuel. Harden, we talked about. Grayson Allen, 5K, 26-point projection. Consensus is almost 28, 25% owned. I think he is interesting. I talked about him a little bit the other day. He's going to be playing big-time minutes. He came out 36 minutes versus Sacramento, and the man can shoot. The man is going to have some games where he's putting up, mid-30s, low 40-point scores, and he's only 5K. He's not in the best matchup in the world, but I do like a lot of Clippers. I like Harden. I like Leonard. If I have lineups with both of those guys, you better bet I'm probably having Allen or somebody from the Suns in the lineup as well. I think there's enough upside here to eat the chalk. It's also, fairly safe if you're playing some cash, so I don't mind that way. Mitchell, we talked about. Peyton Pritchard, usage and minutes are going to be there. It's in a tough spot versus the Knicks, but I don't mind getting to some. He's just not, he's going to need to shoot well to really blow up at his salary. And then we talked about, let's get into pivots. Chris Middleton, 5,800 versus Dallas. Dallas wasn't all that good in that first game. Middleton, we know, is a solid player, is going to have some upside. He played 29 minutes. If he gets into those 30, 32 minutes, which I don't think it's likely, we have him at 28, but if he does, there's a real solid ceiling. This is a guy that with Milwaukee was like a 1.1 fantasy point per minute a guy, 1.14, always kind of around that. And coming back from injury, last year he was at like 1.02, at least for the last 20 games. There's absolutely a chance that he could take another step forward and really get it rolling. And with that, I'm fine going to some Middleton. Duncan Robinson, 3,900 versus the Rockets. Look, the man can shoot. He played 32 minutes, shot the ball 7 times, only 1 went in. If he gets on fire, the ball can go in, and he's super cheap. And he played 32 minutes in a close game. Houston has a very long defense. The way to beat Houston is likely going to be shooting threes or getting out in transition. And I don't mind Robinson in this spot, 3,900. Next, Desmond Bane, 72K or 7.2K, 33-point projection here. Consensus is 35. He's only coming in at 2% owned. And Bane versus the Hawks is a great matchup. 4.5-point spread with Magic being slight favorites. Also, Suggs still, a bit limited. We saw Bane when he was with Memphis and was able to control the ball a little bit. His fantasy point per game could really shoot up. Now, he has Wagner there. He has Banchero. So he has plenty of other guys to steal some usage from him. But there is a real high ceiling at his price in a close game. So I don't mind going here. And he's huge pace up with a 103.4 pace from Atlanta. So I'm absolutely interested going there. 7,200. He could put up a 40 or a 50 in this spot. Let's get over to shooting guard on DK. Dyson Daniels, we didn't talk about. I don't love the spot for him versus the Magic. Magics are just tough versus guards. And there's a lot of other guys in this Hawks lineup this time. Najee Marshall, we talked about him last time. I worried about upside on limited minutes. He only played 23 minutes, and that's exactly what happened. Just didn't have that upside with this team. I don't mind some Trey Murphy. Do think he's kind of the 2 on this team now, and at 3,200 or at playing 32 minutes, shooting the ball 15 times. I think there's going to be an upside eventually with him on this new Pelicans team. Small forward on FanDuel, Cooper Flagg, 6,500. We covered him already. He's a little cheaper over here. I'm going to get some, not going to go overboard. Grayson Allen, we covered. Jaime Jaquez, 4,300. He played 30 minutes. He got us 26. I would not be surprised if we get that again, but it's in a little bit of a better matchup versus Memphis versus, last time was Orlando. We have him at 25 minutes. The only thing is that he is coming off the bench. These minutes are going to be variable. But I think 25 to 28 is probably where he's going to be most nights, and I'm fine getting some at that point. Paulo Banchero, 8,900. Love it. Going to get some Banchero for sure. And Asara Thompson. I think there's big-time upside in that matchup. Don't mind getting some. Franz Wagner at 7,700. He came through last game. Now he's versus the Hawks in a better matchup. Ceiling is absolutely there. Don't mind that pivot. Kawhi Leonard, I talked about him a little bit already when we were mentioning Grayson Allen, but at 7,600, you're getting a guy that has been around 1.2 fantasy points per minute, 1.22 over the last 20, and it's in a decent spot. Should be a close game. They're going to be a little angry after just totally blowing it versus Utah. So I don't mind getting here. He played 30 minutes. He could get, 32, 34. You could do worse than getting some Kawhi with his ceiling at only 7,600. Royce O'Neal at 4,200 played enough minutes to make some sense. And then we covered Middleton, Robinson already, and Bane. Herbert Jones at 55 versus the Spurs. Guy played 36 minutes. Spurs matchup is a good one now. 233.5 total. It's only a 4.5-point spread. I think Herb Jones is going to play a lot of minutes, and he can get you a ton of steals and blocks. So their upside is absolutely there. I don't mind getting some. And last year, or so far, 25th versus the small forward. Only a 1-game sample size here, but you could do worse. I do believe the Spurs are going to be a decent matchup here versus small forward for the season. Now, get over to shooting or small forward. Wiggins at 5,800. I think you could do better. I don't mind it, but he's cheap enough. PJ Washington, man, was 3K last time. Played 29 minutes, got 27. Wouldn't be surprised if he's, very similar situation. I'm fine going here. 6X is very likely, and he has the ceiling to get you, 7, 8. So I'm fine eating chalk there. Cooper Flag, we talked about. Sadiq Bey played 30 minutes off the bench, 4,100. If he's seeing 26 plus minutes a game at this price, it's going to be interesting. He can shoot, he can rebound, he can do a lot of things the Pelicans are going to need coming off the bench. Franz, we covered, so let's get on over to power forward. Bam Adebayo, Cooper Flag, Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley at 8,300 is still too cheap. He's probably going to be very, very high owned. My issue with him, and the whole reason, I think you could consider fading him if you want to. 11.5 spread. It's only a 229.5 total game with an 11-point spread. The Cavs are going to score, but there is a decent likelihood here that Mobley plays 3 quarters. He plays, say, 28 minutes, doesn't come in for his last rotation, and if he is not in the mid-40s, he's not paying off your salary. So I think the Cavs are going to roll here. If I'm playing Mobley, if I'm playing Mitchell, I kind of want to net with it. I think that's the way Mitchell really pays it off. And throwing a net in there, you're getting a little different because not everybody's going to do that. Bam, 7,900 versus the Grizzlies. I'm fine going some Bam. There's no Hero. There's no Jimmy Butler, obviously. He's had very good games versus the Grizzlies in the past. I'm fine eating some chalk there and doing that as well. Bonchero we covered. And pivot-wise, Wagner, Leonard, Zion, and Randall. Let's talk about Zion Williamson here. It is now his team. Not that it wasn't already, but at least there are other guys to soak up some of the usage. Now it's just him. And he went nuts versus Memphis. I think he's in a great spot versus San Antonio, and I'm going to get plenty of him. People don't apparently believe in him right now. He's going low owned. I'm going to be all over him while he's sub 10K. Herb Jones at 5,500 we covered. Julius Randle at 7,100 versus the Lakers. Rain. Does the mobile app not work in EU? Are you talking about Line Star or are you talking about Props Optimizer? And I am not totally sure if we do or not, actually. Let me, I can message real quick to get that answer for you while we're here. So yeah, I just sent a message and I will get that information for you shortly. If you can, let me know if you mean Props Optimizer or Line Star or both of them. That would be helpful as well. Julius Randle going back to LA. He has done consistent work versus LA. The ceiling is absolutely there for his price. I don't mind getting a little bit of him. Okongwu came off the bench and played 30 minutes. So he's not going to have his 50, 60 point ceilings coming off the bench, but he can still absolutely hit 40 plus as a reserve. Therefore, I don't mind getting some, and his points per minute are going to be a little bit better as a reserve. Jared Allen at 6,900. Mitchell's going high owned. Mobley's going high owned. But we got a 3.5-star alert score on Allen. He's in a great spot versus Brooklyn, who has just been giving it up to centers over the last couple of years. I think it's just an average leverage spot or a very good leverage spot, and that's why I wanted to talk about him a little bit. Power forward on DK, Wiggins, Mobley, Davis, AD. We have not talked about. The ceiling is going to be huge for him week in or game in, game out without Irving there. I'm fine getting to some. He shot the ball 22 times. That alone tells me that his usage is going to be there. He needs to put in some blocks and steals and definitely can make it there. I'm not super high on AD in this spot, but I don't mind a little bit. Let's get over to the center spot and round this out. We got Bam Adebayo, 25% owned. Covered him, covered Mobley, Victor Wemby. We got for props op. Okay. It says not available on Google Play. So maybe I am just waiting the response. I will let you know shortly, Rain. Thank you for getting back to me. Victor Wemby, 12K. Man put up 72. And Rain, I got that they should. Let me, I'll message the team that it is saying not available. Maybe there's something else we need to do. So yeah, so I messaged the team saying that we will try to do our best to make that work for you. See if there's anything on our end that we need to do. Anyways, getting back to Wemby, dude is an absolute freak. Had 3 blocks, had a steal, went for 40 points and 15 boards in only 30 minutes. He's in another good spot. I'm absolutely fine playing plenty of Wemby. Think the man is going to take over the NBA this year. Portland, 6K, Donovan Clingan versus the Warriors. I do think there's a decent chance Warriors are sitting some guys. And Clingan played 30 minutes. Wouldn't be that surprised if he gets a little pluses on top of that. He's at 1.09 fantasy point per minute over the last 10 games. I think there's upside in this matchup, so I'm fine going there. Other pivots, we got Zubac at 7,300. Like I said, I'm going to the Clippers a bit. My issue with Zubac here is I worry about his minutes with how this team is set up. We have him at only 28.5. Where his real ceilings were is when he was playing 34, 35 minutes plus. When he's down to, sub 30, he just doesn't have that ceiling that he generally does, and that is why I'm a little worried about him. I don't mind playing some. I want to take some shots. Maybe just the blowout is why he played only 27. There's a potential that it's higher. Not totally sure what his minutes will be like. Okongwu, we talked about. Jared Allen, we talked about. Getting on over to center on DK. Mobley, Davis, Jovic. Jovic at 4,600, a little bit interesting. I don't mind a little bit. He's starting, playing 23 minutes. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets up to 26 like we have him there. I do like him. Rain, there is a chance the EU is banning it for some reason, but we'll do our best to look into it. Appreciate the heads up on there. And guys, that's going to do it for us. Looks like a fun slate. I wish you guys the absolute best. Let's make some money here in this NBA slate. And then also just want to heads up that later today we'll have the NFL DFS and Underdog NFL Week 8 picks. All those will be out later. You all have a good one. Have a great weekend. Let's make some money, and I will see you later. You all have a good one. Peace.